everyone. We're starting a new topic. It's going to be about personal freedom, limits, and the law. Meaning, what are the limits of our personal freedom according to the law, and how do we decide what those limits are? So, I want to share with you a quote by a famous philosopher named John Locke, who wrote, "To understand political power right, we must consider what state all men are naturally in, a state of perfect freedom to order their actions and dispose of their possessions and persons as they think fit within the bounds of the law of nature, without asking leave or depending upon the will of any other man." So, what Locke is saying here is that people are born in a state of perfect freedom, and they should be able to do whatever they want with their stuff and with themselves, as long as they are within the bounds of the law of nature. We're not necessarily going to go into what Locke thought that was. Essentially, it was without harming other people, um, and uh, and being sort of what's considered generally moral. So it gets a little bit more complicated. But what I want you to take away from this quote is this idea that when people are born, they are born with perfect freedom. Um, which, if you think about it, when someone is born, they are born with the freedom to do whatever they want, except that they live in a society that has rules, and that society places these rules on them that restricts their behavior, in the sense that if they go against those rules or laws, then they are punished in some way, either through a fine or arrested or something like that. So the question becomes, what justification is there for that? Why should this society that I'm born into be able to tell me what I can or cannot do? To some extent, of course, we think that makes sense. Everyone just can't go around doing whatever they want. That would be chaos. But what I would like you to do is think about this question a little bit more. Um, that when is it justified for the government to restrict our freedom? So I know this is a really open-ended question, and we're going to get into some of the answers that other philosophers or legal theorists have given. But I want you to think about this for a second, that where would you draw the line? If you should be able to do what you want, um, without restriction, but we have restrictions on us, and most of us think that some of those restrictions are for good reason. But what I want you to think about for this homework is, what are those limits? When is it justified for the government to restrict our freedom? So go ahead and answer that question as an online discussion. And after you're done with that, you can move on to the next assignment.